Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about the HP Omnicept solution from HP, and I'll take you through two solutions that we introduced actually in April 30th this year. This is the new headset and an SDK. My name is Elias Stephan, and I head business development at the XR developer relationship at HP. So I'll take you through my slides here. The first one I want to show you and share with you is the strategy for HP in VR today. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see the HP Reverb G2. I'm sure most of you have seen that in the news or maybe have that headset itself. That left-hand side of the screen is actually positioned and focuses on consumers, and some businesses might also adopt these headsets. The Reverb G2 has the highest quality of resolution in the industry today, 2160 per eye, and it is shipping since last year, October 2020. My focus for today is going to be on the right-hand side, which is the HP Omnicept solution. As I said earlier, it's a brand new headset. And also we're bringing to the market, or we brought to the market, an SDK, which is a software developer kit. Our focus on that solution on the right-hand side is for developers and enterprise. So I'll take you through all of those. Now, just a quick brief on what the ecosystem looks like. This is an HP Omnicept solution ecosystem. On the left-hand side, we introduced April 30th, the HP Reverb G2 Omnicept edition. We think it's the world's most intelligent VR headset in the industry today. And I'll take you through all the features and the bioanalytics and the sensories in that headset in a few seconds here. In the middle, HP's IP, intellectual property, is the software developer kit for new experiences. This HP Omnicept SDK is developed by HP Labs, and I'll also explain in details what it entails. On the right-hand side is basically the most important piece in this puzzle here, which is the ISV XR applications developed by our partners worldwide around that ecosystem around Omnicept edition from HP. So let me, first of all, I want to introduce you to the headset itself, the HP Reverb G2 Omnicept edition, and I have a quick video to show you, to share with you. This video has also audio in it. Here we go. Okay, so here is the headset exactly like it shows on the slide itself. We introduced this April 30th, as I mentioned earlier. The first technology you will see in the headset itself is eye tracking. Eye tracking is embedded in the headset itself. Eye tracking, we partnered with Tobii, the leader in eye tracking in the industry. A couple of other technologies in addition to eye tracking. Under eye tracking, we also have what we call pupillometry, which is pupil dilation. And by the way, eye tracking means when you put the headset on your face, actually the technology is gonna watch where you're actually looking in that VR experience. So we're gonna track where your eyes are gazing in that experience. In addition to that, we're gonna looking at your eyes and determine if it's dilated or not. And then last but not least, in that section of eye tracking, we've also added what we call foveated rendering. HP's VR solution today is a tethered solution. You see at the bottom of the screen, there is a cable. That cable is connected to a PC. That PC would have a GPU and of course CPU. GPU stands for graphical processor unit. The GPU actually is helping that headset itself to drive the graphics. Foveated rendering with eye tracking are two technologies hand in hand, where when you're looking in the VR application, we follow where your eyes are gazing and focus. The GPU will focus on that specific area only and provide the GPU power. So basically the GPU is not functioning at 100%. It's probably at 50 maybe or 40%, where you can use the extra power for something else. So eye tracking, pupillometry for eye dilation, and foveated rendering built into this headset. We added also, second bullet here is heart rate, PPG pulse sensor. When you look at the headset, if you're looking at it, you hold it with your hands and you're looking at it, the sensor is inside the headset itself. When you put it on, it's touching your forehead and measuring your pulse, PPG heart rate, every few seconds. Then also, in addition to the 4 RGB tracking cameras, you see 2, they look like eyes in front of the headset. And there are 2 more on the right and left of the headset. You don't see them. Total of 4 cameras built in. In addition to those 4 cameras, the tracking cameras, we added a 5th camera, which is called face camera. This is, if you can see my mouse, I'm hovering over that face camera. That face camera is designed to look at the bottom half of your face, which is basically, we're looking at the top of your face through the headset itself. And then the face camera, we're looking at the bottom half of your face. Then you can imagine some use cases and applications for that would be real-time avatars, right? So that's one, and that's mainly used in collaboration use cases and many, many other use cases as well. Now, in addition to the real-time avatars, we're going to be able later on, when I start talking about some of the insights that we're bringing with our SDK, we're going to talk about something called expressions. Expressions is coming later on in 2022. Expressions will allow you to know if you're smiling, you're frowning, you're sad, you're mad, you're angry, and so on and so forth. So that expressions is going to elevate for developers to produce innovative applications in the XR environment. So we talked about eye tracking, foveated rendering, pupillometry, heart rate sensor, and face camera. On the right and left, you see 2 speakers that are away from your ears when you put the headset on. They're 10 millimeters away from the ears for comfort, and they are capable of supporting HP spatial audio. On the right and left, you also see the enhanced controllers for the headset. So this is the HP Reverb G2 Omnicept edition. We believe in training, and training is a huge segment. You could be training surgeons, doctors, you could be training pilots, you could be training law enforcement, soldiers, and the list goes on and on. We believe eye tracking sensors with pupillometry eye dilation, foveated rendering is going to amplify training and is going to elevate the way developers and enterprise accounts developing applications inside their company to the next level. So in training scenarios, you can understand how the user is responding to the content based on if their focus is on the wrong area. So remember, we are looking at the eyes and the movement of the eyes where they're looking, right? So their first instinct should be to look and check at some parts rather than others. So all of that technology is going to help developers and enterprise accounts who have their own developers in their company to actually accentuate and then also amplify training. And there are studies in the marketplace that training in VR is 5 times the training retention versus CBT or a 2D looking at a screen itself. That's one. And the next one I talked about is a face camera. In the beginning, you're going to be able to do real-time avatars, right? And then we're going to start talking about facial expressions, right? Are you smiling? Are you frowning? And the list goes on and on. That's another area where our developers, our partners, and enterprise accounts can actually go beyond just your standard VR applications and develop innovative XR applications, and so on and so forth. Last but not least, the heart rate sensor. We believe that wellness applications and healthcare is going to take advantage of that. But now, let me sum it up. All these sensors that I talked about, whether the eye tracking, to the heart rate, to the pupillometry, we're going to capture all this data, raw data, live data, and we're going to take that to the next level into the SDK, software developer kit, called Omnicept. And we're going to, for the first time, HP introduced in the marketplace what we call cognitive load insight. And I'll talk about that in a second. So let me sum it up for you. The headset itself, eye tracking, heart rate, face camera. We added a ratcheting headband, and my mouse is hovering over it here. It's a dial at the back of the headset itself for a perfect fit. We also kept the same 2160 per eye resolution for visual experience like the Reverb G2 headset itself. So that's in a nutshell the headset itself. Now I'm going to transition all of these sensors I talked about, take advantage of all of these sensors data, raw data, real data coming from the headset into HP Omnicept SDK. The HP Omnicept SDK has been in the making for the last couple of years by HP Labs. HP Labs has PhD scientists and also psychologists as well who work on this software itself, right, the SDK. And this has been tested across the world, around 4 continents, collecting data from different individuals. We started Brazil, US, Mozambique, and Taiwan. We wanted to have an unbiased engine that has machine learning, that has artificial intelligence, part of the Omnicept SDK, that when we collected the data, the more data you collect, the better your prediction on cognitive load is going to be at the end of the day, right? So we wanted to do different countries, different nationalities, different backgrounds, different ethnic group, different gender, and so on and so forth. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce you to the HP Omnicept SDK in a cool video. Here we go.
Introducing HP Omnicept, an intelligent XR platform that completely changes the dynamic of how humans interact with technology. Sensors in the headset monitor muscle movement, heart rate, pupil size, and gaze to capture the levels of brain power exerted. Now, users' natural responses drive their experiences in the moment. By combining sensor data with machine learning, software developers get real-time insights to tailor XR experiences for faster and better outcomes. Across industries, HP Omnicept is powering advanced XR solutions that can adapt to each user. Redefining how we train, improve well-being, create, and collaborate. HP Omnicept powered apps help ensure the capture and transfer of data comply with GDPR, keeping user data confidential. Groundbreaking hardware meets transformative software. This is HP Omnicept, a revolution in XR.
All right. Now, as I said earlier, this is the first time you see something like cognitive load insight introduced in the VR XR marketplace. So as I said, Omnicept SDK has been in the making for the last couple of years, and the first iteration of it is cognitive load. I'm going to also share with you a peek to the future upgrades to this, about 2 other insights coming later on next year. So cognitive load is a powerful predictor of those 3 things you see in those boxes. The first one, now remember when I talked about the sensories, right? At the bottom left of the slide, you see heart rate, pupillometry, eye tracking. We take all these sensories from the headset in order to determine the cognitive load indication of that user in that headset. The first predictor is the brain capacity. We will predict the amount of working memory consumed while that person in that VR application undergoing that experience. So we're going to take that brain capacity as one measurement for the prediction. In the middle, we'll also predict the performance. It's an indicator of the user's engagement based on the amount of brain power put towards that task. Imagine you are training a pilot to fly a plane. You want to understand the brain capacity they're using, the working memory they're using, how they're performing to that task. Are they touching the right instrumentation? Are they looking at the right areas in the dashboard? And the list goes on and on. Last but not least, on the right-hand side, we want to also determine how expert they are in that task, whether you're a pilot, you're a surgeon, you're a law enforcement, you're a soldier in the field, and so on and so forth. So how well the learner knows and understand the content. So data coming from the headset goes into the SDK analytics engine, which is machine learning and artificial intelligence called SDK inference engine. And then you get the cognitive load represented to the trainer or to the user themselves and an indicator from 0 to 100. Right? So that means if you are, let's say, in a VR application and you're hitting the 100%, maybe you're overwhelmed, not doing the right training correctly, and so on and so forth. If it's towards the 0%, maybe you're not paying attention to the VR instructions and what have you. So what we believe, with practice and training over time, you're going to be what we call in the Goldilocks zone in the middle. So that is cognitive load insight for the first time because of the sensory in the headset, because the intelligence and artificial intelligence built into the inference engine from HP, they're both started shipping April 30th this year. The next level of insights that we're bringing later next year is expression, enabling creation of real-time avatars. And as I said earlier, because of the face camera as well, embedded in the headset itself, you're going to see, are you smiling? Are you frowning? The movement of the face and so on and so forth. And then the one after that, that's going to be also an upgrade to the SDK, is capturing emotional reactions from stress to excitement. Is definitely a revolution in VR for sure. And these are coming soon insights, by the way. Now, I know this slide is a lot of information, but if you want to look at it quickly, it is divided into 4 swim lanes. I start on the left-hand side. The headset, you can buy it today through wherever you can buy HP products, right? It's available in 68 countries plus, right? So if you buy a headset and the way you buy HP hardware, you can download the core SDK free of charge, and you'll get access to all the sensories I talked about. You do not get cognitive load or HP spatial audio. If you are academia, colleges, and so on and so forth, you will get the SDK for non-profit from HP free of charge. The minute academia starts making money on the SDK by developing an application using our technology, they belong into the developer swim lane over here, and that's a revenue share set up with HP. So the developer over here will get premium support from HP, free access to the SDK itself, and also lots of opportunities with HP as well. On the right-hand side, if you are an enterprise account and you have your own developers in-house to develop XR experiences and applications, you can buy that enterprise licenses. You can buy the enterprise developer license as well from HP. Plus, you can buy as well a monthly runtime licenses when you deploy your applications. And at the bottom here, for selected countries for a full SDK, there is a list of all these countries that you can have access to it. Now, I appreciate your time listening to me about the HP Omnicept solution, which is the headset, HP Reverb G2 Omnicept Edition, plus the intelligent HP Omnicept SDK. Now I'm ready to take questions if you have. Please put your questions in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them all. Thank you very much for your attention and have a great day.